For analysis on what it means, Colin Mang is standing by. Colin is an economist at McMaster University in Hamilton, Ontario. Colin, good to see you. Your takeaways from this report, what does it mean?
Yeah, I'm not surprised by this. I mean, earlier this summer, we saw the Carney government cut income taxes, which is the single biggest source of revenue for the government. That was expected to cost the government about $4 to $4.5 billion in revenues, and that's a key component of why the deficit's going up. We've also seen a few new spending announcements from the government. One of the key things that we faced this year is the fact that the Canadian economy is slowing down. We had very slow growth in the first quarter, 0.5%. In the second quarter, we actually had negative 0.4% growth. So on the whole, this year, the Canadian economy has grown a lot slower than projected, and that's adding to the deficit as well, because that's really holding down government revenues. So seeing the deficit go up at this point is not surprising at all, given that revenues are really starting to fall off, both because of a tax cut, also because of a slowing economy.
I'm also wondering, you talked about the economy and the current state, and we just want to point out on the screen as Colin, you and I are talking, we're showing some footage. The Prime Minister is now on board the plane and he is heading to the United Kingdom. This is also part of this story. Mark Carney heading to the UK. He'll be talking to the Prime Minister of UK, but also Spain, Australia, Iceland, Denmark, trying to, deepen those trade relationships you've got with other countries, because the US has gone rogue when it comes to trade with us on certain areas anyway, steel, aluminum, the car sector, and Donald Trump, of course, is always the wild card. The worries about Canada slipping into a recession, and as you know, sometimes you got to spend in order to try and mitigate some of the damage that's coming, and we're already seeing it, the employment numbers and whatnot.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I think at this point, Canada actually is in a recession. We lost 100,000 jobs over the summer, and given that we had that second quarter decline in GDP, once we get the third quarter numbers fairly soon, I think it is going to show that Canada is in a recession. Now, the Parliamentary Budget Office, when making this projection today, assumed that Canada would have about 1.2% GDP growth this year, and I think that's actually optimistic given what we've seen over the past 9 months, which could actually increase the deficit even further. But we'll get some more information on November 4th when the government comes up with the budget. We do know that they are promising cuts to government administration, and that will hope to close the deficit at least somewhat. But we'll have to wait until November 4th to see.
As an economist, does this make sense? Is this prudent fiscal management given what Canada is facing right now, Colin?
I mean, the problem that we have is that the recession is being caused by our trade war with the United States. Our exports are dropping, as well as businesses have slowed down investment because they don't know what the trade environment's going to look like. What the government really does need to do is invest in the future of the Canadian economy. We need new infrastructure projects, thinking about pipelines to bring our energy products to market, as well as expansions of the port. The government has announced they want to expand the port in Montreal, expansion of ports in Vancouver and Halifax as well. All of this is going to cost money. I think right now the government does need to invest more in the Canadian economy. I do think they are making the right decision by looking at government administration and cutting back in that case to save a little bit of money to be able to make those investments. But I mean, this is the situation that we're in right now. Due to our trade relations with the United States, the Canadian economy is starting to slow down, and the government will need to invest more to kickstart it again.
Colin, it's great to have you part of our coverage today as we continue to follow what's going on. Again, that budget coming out on November the 4th. All the best in the meantime. We'll talk soon.
Yeah, thanks for having me.